smarter strategy. And
I never sit down and write.
for me, like, what's it called? You know me, I turn over so much.
Yeah.
And I like it, and it's therapeutic. But now I'm in the end game of my career.
Yeah.
And it's time to just, if I don't grow my subscribers now,
Yeah.
God damn, if I have a kid in the next few years, I'm fucked. So
I think you've been saying that since the first day.
I'm in the end game, folks. I'm almost done. God,
If it doesn't start as happening now, and the clock is so we'll go till 5 o'clock, so it'll be roughly 50 minutes.
Are these Sony Alphas?
They are indeed.
Holy shit! Yeah. Which one?
FX3.
FX3. Fuck me. Oh,
How much are they? Are they very expensive?
north of $1,000 each.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Bit more than that for the X3 version. I'm on an Alpha 7. Yeah. So you're this 2-3 above.
I think the buddies are like $3,000 each.
Fuck
Yeah.
me.
And the lens as well.
Yeah,
But
the quality is just so good. Like when I watch it,
Fuck me.
back, it's so weird because I've watched all the episodes back,
Yeah.
and they actually look better than they felt.
Ah,
Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean,
I'm like, that actually looks
movie
better.
magic, baby.
Movie magic.
All right, let's crack on.
So we do a couple of seconds of silence, and then I'll jump into it. Hello and welcome to Opium and the Masses with myself, Jack Hester. This is a series where I talk to comedians, mainly comedians. I hope that it gains a bit of traction. So if you like, subscribe, follow, I can get a bit of traction and I can start talking to people who aren't comedians. That'd be very nice. It'd be nice to get this to a level where I didn't have to talk to comedians.
First couple of seconds, he's like, look, I don't want to have this guest. But listen, in an ideal world, you wouldn't even be a comedian. That's how untalented you are. But in the world we're in, I have to have you on.
We have to do comedian. But
Jeez, I'm gonna bomb.
In this series.
I'm gonna ruin the podcast just so you don't blow up. You piece of garbage.
In this series, I am talking to comedians and I'm asking them about their religious beliefs, their religious education, and whether they believe in God, what happens when you die, all of that kind of stuff. And today we have the very wonderful. Now, even if I had branched out and I wasn't interviewing comedians, I would have this man on.
No group of human beings is more religious than stand-up comedians.
Well,
Famously, Carlin Hicks, they love God. Biblical scholars in stand-up comedy.
There's a lot of...
Do you know what? You should do this podcast at the Riyadh Comedy Festival next year. That's going to kill.
Bringing the two together.
Bring the two together. I can see the long game. Listen, season 2, MBS. That's what you're going to have. Chic season 3. That's what you're going to have.
He will see a clip of this and he'll be like, I like this guy.
I'm not a fan of the free speech, but apart from that.
Yeah, I like this guy. So our guest today is Tadiwa Mahlunge.
Oh, thank you. Hi.
Tadiwa Mahlunge. How are you doing, Tadiwa?
I'm doing great, man. I've been, listen.
Good.
I'm going to break the fourth wall. This piece of garbage. First off, he messaged me to come do this like maybe a day ago.
Yeah.
No regard for my plans or personal life. And I was like, you know what? I have a special place in my heart for Jack Hester. I've known you for like nearly 10 years now?
Nearly 10 years.
Fuck it. I'll do it. All right.
Right.
I cycled here. We'll put that up there. It is sub-zero out there right now. Sub-zero. And he messaged me, be here for 4 p.m. sharp. And I know the studio is expensive. So I was like, I will be there 4 p.m. sharp. I'll be there 10 minutes early. That's what a good guy I am. Just to make life easier for you. Yeah. This guy made me wait in the cold for 15 minutes. While I was just like having a meltdown outside, just like, this is the most disrespectful thing anyone's ever done to me. Does anyone, I looked insane.
I'm glad you got off chat. But one thing I would say is the studio isn't as busy as normally. Normally there would be someone to let you in.
Oh no, that bridge is burnt.
And I also just want to say, just for the record, before we go further, Ted, that camera isn't actually on. So you keep looking at this camera and it isn't on, right? There's other cameras
What are
in
you
the room.
paying for?
There's other cameras.
You got a decoy camera?
There's other cameras in the room.
You know when you go to a building and like the CCTV
I just
doesn't
wanted
work?
to tell you because I didn't
Yeah.
want people watching and thinking you were blind or something because you keep looking.
I already got a lazy eye.
Off camera. So anyway, before I actually get into the podcast and the podcast questions, you mentioned the Riyadh. What was your take on the Riyadh Comedy Festival?
My take on the Riyadh Comedy Festival is that everyone has a price and don't be a little hypocrite.
Okay,
That was my take.
that was your.
Everyone has a price. Okay. None of us want to do gigs in Stoke-on-Trent, but we're not doing that well financially, so we have to. Okay.
Yeah,
Everyone has a price.
everyone has a price.
Yeah.
and you can everyone's.
Dude, you gig if you can do a gig for the British government, that exists.
Yeah. Well, there used to be gigs that they would bring you to the army bases in Iraq and Afghanistan. Yeah.
You those gigs were miles from war crimes, like 3 miles from war crimes.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have a go at these guys for getting $1 million for maybe an hour's work.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And not just $1 million. There's also, it's not like when you do the Riyadh Comedy Festival, they weren't there for a day. They were there for a week being blown by men. You know, like that's the start treatment you had in Riyadh. It wasn't just like doing a gig and then skipping town.
Yeah.
They had like 5-star lifestyle shit for a week, you know? Who wouldn't want that? Everyone has a price, you know? Like we all like doing gigs for whatever government, every government fundamentally is imperialistic and oppressive.
Right.
So you're a hypocrite if you're having to go at Chappelle for being a sellout.
Okay, someone's thrown his name in the hat there to get to support Chappelle the
Listen,
next time.
all right,
He's in
Dave,
London.
if you're watching, baby, if you're watching, I'll kill kids to defend you. Your honor will never be besmirched in my presence.
That's brilliant. Okay, right. We'll get rolling with the podcast here. Tell us a little bit about your upbringing and your first memory of religious education or religious guidance, whether that was in the home or whether that was at school or.
My family is very Christian. Like,
very Christian,
like
right.
to the extent that it made me go, yeah. Like I got the ick
from their
religiosity. It's too much. It's way
right.
too much. Like as a kid, I don't know my first memory of church.
But you went to church as a child.
I went to church every single Sunday from when I was born until like maybe I was 16.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I didn't enjoy a single minute of it.
You didn't like any of it?
No, because
not even the stories?
The stories are not very well written, and and let's not mess around. They're written.
Yeah.
But I didn't enjoy it because it was just too long. Because I never went, only when I was like 14-ish, 12-ish. That's when I started going to Catholic church.
All right. So what church were you going to up until this?
My family are Methodists. UMC African Church Methodist.
Methodist. What's the difference between a Methodist mass and a Catholic mass?
Catholic mass ends
45 minutes. It's 45 minutes
it
usually.
Ends.
Right.
Okay. And when I went to Catholic church because I was in choir, so it was a gig for half of it. All right.
Yeah.
I was up to stuff. Okay. Normal church, like African church, it just goes on. And it's like 3 hours service. But that's not it. That's not it. After that, you have to understand, these people, that's their whole social life.
Right.
That's the only time they see their friends. They don't give a fuck about your Sunday. You're only 2 days off. Go fuck yourself. So like, my grandparents finished church, and then it's potentially 2 hours of them having meetings with the treasury and counting the money, because it is a fucking scheme.
Yeah.
And like, you know, and then they're having tea and cakes and banter with their mates, and they might send you off on go to the shops and get us some bread, whatever. It's this whole, so it's all day Sunday. That's what made me go, I can't do any more of this.
Yeah.
I just can't.
And what is it similar in like? So let's park the social side afterwards for a bit, but like in the actual mass part, Is it similar? Do they read
Homily and
stories?
yeah, well, the
Yeah.
the thing I didn't like about UMC was that it was just some guy.
Right. Oh, he's not.
He's a pastor. Hey,
Oh, he's a pastor,
He read
okay.
the book.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah.
But
And
he's still fundamentally
just-
something. What I love about the Catholic Church is that the priest dresses like shit. Okay,
Right.
he wears clothes that were bought from M&S 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
he drives a piece of shit car like Saul Goodman in season 1.
Right.
He looks like shit too.
Right.
He's not doing well. Okay,
Financially.
fine. He looks, sounds, and it is an incel, and I like that because that
Right.
means he's forsaken every trapping of modernity. This guy believes in his shit. This guy's the equivalent of like, you know, those guys that are like open micers and they can't really afford to live in London, but they just couch surf and they never have a day job and they just live like absolute shit, maybe £50 a week earnings.
Yeah.
And that's what priests are. They're like fucking talentless open micers that never make it. But I like that because it means they really believe in it. But the pastors, every pastor I ever had drove the nicest car.
Really?
They had wives, children, extramarital affairs. They might fuck your wife. That's what's happening in the other room. While you're counting the cash that he's going to spend on himself, he's fucking your wife in the broom closet. That's these pastors in America with their mega churches, they
Yeah.
fly planes and shit.
Do you ever think of getting into it? I could see you getting it.
I wanted to when I was like, I preached once.
Did you?
That's how I knew it was bullshit. They let a 14-year-old boy. It wasn't a short set.
What did you
I did an
say?
Edinburgh hour.
What did you say?
I don't even remember.
Did you write it down?
I did like a week's Bible study. I forgot what the topic was even about, but I did like a week's research, and I wrote it down, the bullet points, and I did all the moves.
What are
did
the
it all.
moves? What are the moves?
Give me an amen and an amen and a hallelujah and let's go into the song. Let's all go into the song. And everyone's dancing and shit. And this boy has Jesus in him. I did all that shit.
Yeah.
And I was just playing them, and it was I could see why people get off on that.
It's euphoric.
I went back to church for the first time in years, maybe last year or the year before, something like that. And this is at my mum's church in Stevenage.
Right.
And I always looked down on those people. It's kind of bad to say.
Yeah.
But I kind of look, because it was like, you're being taken for a ride.
Yeah.
You know? But when I was a teenager. But now as an adult, I went back for the first time in ages. And I kind of listened. I kind of really looked at you know, like when you're a kid, adults aren't people, they're just ideas,
Right.
you know? As a grown up, I really looked at the people at church, and I was like, and I thought about my life compared to their lives, and how much, you know, they're really hurting right now, and they're struggling to make ends meet, and the sermon of hope that this guy was giving, even though he was taking their money, but he was really, I mean, they needed that,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, this is an act of public service. And I felt bad for feeling like I was above it.
That's very interesting. That's a very interesting bit of insight there for you.
Yeah.
So it's a tonic for people.
It's a real tonic.
If life
People
is
need
difficult.
that shit. People need someone to tell them it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Even if the person's lying, but it takes a good salesman to convince another adult that everything's going to be okay every week, and then every week things are not okay. But they keep coming back because this motherfucker can make me believe for at least a few hours that everything's going to be okay.
And do you believe in God?
It's difficult. It's a tricky one. It's hard.
Yeah.
Because I have this bit about like, I believe in God during airplane turbulence. I can tell you that much right now. Like,
Right.
when I'm going to die, better fucking believe. When I thought I had COVID, I prayed.
Really?
I prayed so much.
Did you have bad? Was your COVID bad? Or?
Turns out I didn't have COVID. I was just having a panic attack. Not even a joke. Like first week of when I was still living with Callum Ross and Maria Shahata and them.
Yeah.
Like and we were getting told we were getting shut down, and I was in my room and I was, oh, I have it. No, I could smell everything, but I couldn't smell my own bullshit.
Right.
No, so I lost God when I was like 16.
Go on. Why do you think you lost him? What do you think happened?
Where's Waldo? No, I like fucking, I don't know how to put it. It was going to church and hating it.
Yeah.
And then watching, I always was into comedy since I was like 12. But then like around about 15, 16, I mean, I went off the deep end. Like, you know how much stand-up you watch in the first few years of doing it? I watched that much as a kid.
Right.
Like, I went deep dive on all the atheist comics, and they were all really good. And atheist comedy was so big at the time because it was such a taboo to say God isn't real, especially in America. And like, that incepted me with the possibility that it's not real. And then I started going on YouTube and having people break it down that it's all bullshit.
Right.
And then I got into like crystals and shit.
Crystals.
Yeah, spirituality and namaste, man. And God is an energy.
You got into that?
Because you can't just go from that to nothing. You'll have despair. You'll have abject despair. I went from preaching. You can't go from preaching to just, oh, you're gonna die and that's it. That's crazy. You don't go cold turkey on alcohol. You go down to a sip a day, and then you work your way down to sobriety.
And when you were on this transition, did you come across like they were called the new atheists? So like Richard Dawkins,
All
Christopher
those guys,
Hitchens. Did you get into all those guys?
I got into all those guys because they were so like edgy.
Yeah.
And like, oh, okay. And they were like do you know those feminist pwned compilations? No. You never got onto the right wing pipeline as a child. That's what got me. I got it at Peterson and all that shit. It got me. Yeah, like Dawkins and Hitchens and all these dudes, they do all these Christian pwned. We're gonna have a debate, but the debate I'm gonna have with this Christian is me rehearsing a Rolodex of facts I already have in my head.
Yeah.
For all the stuff I know you're gonna say.
And they were a lot of those debates, a bit of a mismatch. So it's a very, like a professor, a very educated person against like a hick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just taking them apart.
Ripping them to pieces.
And it was disproportionate. It was real Russia-Ukraine shit. But Ukraine with no spine. That was... It was more of an America-Venezuela situation.
Very entertaining to watch.
It just took their spirituality, yoink, New York courthouse. That's what,
New York courthouse. That's a good, I like that.
Dude, I'm great at comedy.
16, you kind of, you lose God, right?
Yeah,
you lose God. So when you're up to 16, like, how are you seeing God? Do you think that there's someone watching everything?
I used to have visions, man.
You had visions?
In my dreams, I had like there's the dream. I didn't even realize it, but it was actually from the Bible, a part I never read. But like I had the dream where like I was inside of like, I don't know how to describe it, like a cylindrical fleshy womb, and there's all these eyes, and I was ascending up into heaven. I had like you know, a deja vu.
Okay.
But like I'd have it where it was like fucking conversations, like minute-long conversations on you're gonna say this, you're gonna say this, you're gonna say. I had all that fucking. It was a lot. It was a lot, and so like I was fucking deep in the camp. Like I seen shit, I felt shit. When I started meditating, there was memory I had when I was meditated once. I think this might have been when I was 17, 18, something like this. But I was just meditating for like a half an hour, and at a certain point, I felt myself go above my body, and I could see down upon myself, and that was pretty neat. But then I kept going, and then I entered the absolute darkness, and then I was like kicking and screaming and wailing around, like, please, like, I can't feel my body. It was like sleep paralysis, but like from meditation.
Right.
And then it ends with the lights coming on, and I'm in the hallway, and my granddad's going like, what is happening? What are you doing? And I had entered I don't know how, but I entered a state where I like was able to meditate, run into the hallway, sit down on the floor, and then start wailing around and writhing. Like, shit was intense. So
what do you think it was? What do you think it was now? What did you think it was then, and what do you think it was now?
I don't know what it is now. I don't know what it was then. At the time, I thought it was that, oh, I'm fucking, not the second coming, but I thought like I had like, in all honesty, I thought I had like a deeper spiritual connection to the universe than average.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I felt
almost
like
a calling, or
no, I just felt like whatever it is, I had a pretty good direct line to it.
Right.
Now probably I'm not a fucking, I don't want to say, oh, I had a manic episode or some shit like that, because I didn't, because people do have those, and this wasn't that.
And this wasn't that. Do you think the going to the church, the pastors kind of, would they talk about stuff like this?
Not really. This was probably like while I was in the whole losing God era. Right. And I was meditating and trying to get in touch with spirituality. Like now, honestly, I think that the Bible is real. And
how do you mean it's real? The stories are real, like they?
No, I think like the stories are. There's the stuff that they wrote down. Yeah, and there's what they're trying to communicate with the stuff they wrote down. Okay, and that's like the underneath the surface. Like this is the underneath it. And I think the same is true for the Torah and the Quran and the Buddhist scriptures. I think the same is true for, I think, all of humanity, every religion we've ever had and every belief system we've ever had. The truth underneath it all is true, and that truth is still 1/1,000,000th of 1% of what it actually is, because we're fucking monkeys, right? We're like, I want to say like we're fucking 10,000 years away from being fucking savages, but look what's happening in the world right now. We're still savages. Right. Yeah. Our brains are this small. We can't comprehend even. The smartest person, Friedrich Nietzsche, the smartest person that's ever lived, would still not be able to comprehend the actual truth of the reality of what this is. So we were born into the dark, and we're going to die in the darkness. And I think that's the best we're going to get in terms of understanding God.
Yeah, you lost me. I haven't a clue what you're talking about. I get bits of it, but so let's break it down a little bit. Yeah. So do you think God is a being, an entity, or an energy?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I can't.
Right.
I feel like it is everything.
Okay, yeah, so an energy.
Not just an energy, because an energy makes it sound like fucking centrifugal force or gravity. Right. Or fucking, or like microwave radiation. Okay, yeah. I don't think energy is the right word
for it.
It's like, I think God is every piece of matter in the universe and the dark matter and the space of nothingness between them. Right. I think that's what God is.
God is.
And I think it's may or may not be conscious, but I feel like it's more likely that it is than that it isn't.
It is
I feel like it's more likely that it is conscious than that it isn't.
Than it isn't. What do you think happens when you die?
You decompose.
Right.
Scares me because I still don't, I'm not entirely sure I will.
You still don't believe you will die?
I'm not sure I will, because I haven't yet.
Yeah, go on. But so
I've had some scrapes. I've come close.
Yeah. Really? Yeah. Have you been close to that?
Yeah. I drowned twice as a kid.
Really?
Yeah.
I nearly drank
And I-
once
and-
as a child.
And I cycle in London, so you know.
Yeah, cycling in London is probably. Would I be right in saying do more people die cycling in London than get stabbed in London? I think they do.
You think?
I think so.
Well, there's everyone who ever rides a bicycle or a motorcycle gets in an accident, without fail.
So-
Every single one.
Yeah.
Including me. I've been in an accident. I've been hit.
By a car.
By a car. Yeah. I had a whole bit about it in my first special.
Yeah.
But yeah, like what were we talking about? God.
Talking about death. What happens when you die?
I don't like
You've
to
been
think
close.
about it because I'm very
Frightened of death.
very, very scared of death.
Really?
I'm scared that it is nothing and it's going to be just like before I was born.
Yeah.
I'm very afraid of that because I used to have infinity to play with, and now I have potentially.
Actually, full stop.
Yeah, I'd like to believe that my consciousness will live on in some meaningful way, but I don't. I have dreams. I have dreams, and those I don't really remember those.
Yeah.
So it horrifies me.
So, how would you class yourself then? Would you class yourself a believer, or would you class yourself as an agnostic?
I wouldn't say agnostic because I'm pretty firmly sure of what I believe.
Right.
Yeah,
That there is a God.
that we are God expressing itself through itself.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm certain is true.
But
I just don't know if all the matter in the universe and the multiverse, because it's highly unlikely for the physics to work. It's highly unlikely that there is one universe. You know what I mean?
right.
It's multiple superimposed on top of each other. The timelines running right alongside each other, but unable to touch each other.
Parallel universes.
Yeah. So like, I think that all of the matter and all of that, I don't know if that is conscious. There's that thing of like, I don't know if you've ever seen one of these videos where it's what's the word for it? A fractal, where you zoom in and it gets more complex and more complex, and,
Right.
and it never stops getting more and more
More
complex.
complex. Okay.
It's kind of
yeah.
like zooming from outer space down through the clouds to the earth, to the ground, to the grass, to the molecules in the grass, to the
Yeah.
atoms in the molecules, to the quarks that define those atoms. And beneath the quarks, we can't even measure it,
Yeah.
but there's probably still shit in there, But you zoom out of Earth into space, into a galaxy, into a cluster of galaxies, into a supercluster, into a supermassive black hole. That supermassive black hole could just be an atom in another universe, or in a larger,
Yeah.
grander. Yeah,
It's wild, isn't it? Do you think about that kind of stuff much? Or?
not often, but
Yeah.
and here's the thing that I mean when I say that, the particle that our entire universe defines, right? That's that particle. Zoom out, could be a guy. And he's like, I don't know if there is a God. Let's do a podcast. You know what I mean? This is unknowable shit. This is unknowable shit.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying like the sum total of all the information in humanity is probably got an undercurrent of truth to it, but that undercurrent of truth is 1/infinitieth of what's actually happening.
Right.
Yeah.
And the truth is, you can never really know. Okay, let's assume there is a God,
Yeah,
there is a heaven.
big assumption.
Big assumption. There is a God, there is a heaven, right? And you are at the gates of heaven, and you meet God, and God says to you, Tad, tell me 3 good things you have done in your life that warrant me letting you into heaven. Three things that you've done that were good. I'll be
The way
honest
you
with you.
said that, you really said it like jog your memory.
Well,
You piece of
I'll be
garbage.
honest with you. And I do think comedians are probably finding this question harder than the average person, because the look on most comedians' face when I ask this question, they're like, what? You know, like no
Holy
one,
shit.
no one has answered this with any degree of confidence. And I genuinely think if I stop people on the street, I think most people would have the tip of their
head.
on the tip of their head, like.
I first thing that came to my mind, and I'm not gonna say this, but taking care of my family financially whenever I've needed to or been asked to.
Very decent thing to do, very good thing to do, I think.
But it's always been with an amount that wasn't a true sacrifice. It's always been at times when I was like, man, I don't want to spend this amount, but it's not really gonna hurt me. Now, if I gave my family, now I'm doing stand up more or less full time.
Right.
I already give them money like that. Back in the day when old Taddy Big Bucks was doing all right. Oh, go, of course I'll give you this. Anything you want, I will take care of you.
Yeah.
But in reality, I'd spent that much on fucking dates that week. I didn't give a shit.
Right.
But I'll say I'm a very good boyfriend, I'd say.
You're a good boyfriend.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I give a lot of love and time to my girlfriend and my sister and my mom. You know, I think I've got a good temperament in that way. But other good things I've done, fucking hell, dog. I've never hoarded information.
You've never hoarded information.
Yeah, I've helped a lot of comedians.
Okay.
A lot of comedians. And
so you're not a believer in like zero sum.
No, not anymore. I used to be when I was young. When you first met me, I used to be. Yeah.
Really?
I used to be like, you know, a lot more. You know,
we can't all be successful.
Yes. Or that you're eating into my margin.
Right.
But the reason I used to feel that way, and I think it's a valid reason, is because when you start comedy, we're doing competitions.
Yeah. It does
so
take a lot of...
It is actually, there's only so many spaces to get moved up.
And the competition, it does kind of, like, it shouldn't really be like that.
No, it's not good.
Because good comedy is very personal.
Yeah,
and creative and free and taking risks.
Yeah,
and
communal.
And communal, yeah. And it's the competitions kind of make it a bit capitalist.
Not just capitalist. Yes, it makes it fucking cold, competitive.
Yeah.
It makes it dispassionate. It makes it rote because I have to nail this joke perfectly, and they need to laugh at this space so I can make it exactly 5 minutes. Because if I go over, then I'm gonna get fucked. And my best joke is at the end. And if you know, it's a lot. And it's also like, you don't want that. You don't want everyone else to have a good time.
Yeah.
So you're hey, you're gonna do well, man. You're fine. You're not gonna mess up this joke like you did at that gig, right? Because that's. You remember that? Do you remember when you fucked that up? I mean, not everyone remembers that, but like, you know, it stays. So you're playing all these fucking mind games with people. It's fucking sick.
Yeah, the atmosphere was never.
It was horrible.
The backstage atmosphere was never. I never did well in them anyway. I never got to you were in finals and stuff.
Yeah, I was in finals. I never got
to. I never got to any kind of high level in the competitions. So I never invested massively.
Yeah, it was
in them.
sick. It brought out the worst, and I didn't stop because I never won any. I stopped because I was like, the person I become during these is horrible. I don't like this.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to do significantly more damage to me inside, and also selfishly my reputation. Like, because it was transparent that I was there to win,
right?
Come what may, and you can't live like that if you want to be an artist
or get into heaven. So that's a good kind of. That's a good kind of. Switch around, right?
So, I mean, I give money to charity, but again, it's not as much as I should.
But listen, plenty of people aren't giving money to charity, so I think any money you're giving to charity is a decent thing.
What's the third thing that I've done that's good? Life. Jesus Christ. I didn't kill my dad. I had chances. I had desire. I never killed him.
Did you have desire to kill him?
Never killed him.
But did you ever?
course.
Have you ever had homicidal thoughts?
Limited. Limited, specific, and contained. And never acted upon.
Yeah.
Which, hey, listen, okay? I feel, in that homicide, I thought, the fact I never acted on it, I feel like, those pedophiles who just never do it. But they have it in their brain. They don't even have anything on their hard drive.
Yeah.
Just like, man, you know what? I'm a good guy for holding out. But that's specifically limited to my biological father. But yeah, I can't think of a third good thing I've done. That's really good. I can't. I'm sorry, man. I can't do it.
Okay, that's no problem there. Right, here's a question for you. Right,
Yeah,
you're with God. You're in heaven, right?
I'm God.
No, you're with God.
I'm with God.
You're with God, and you're in heaven, right?
Yeah.
And God says to you, He says, "Hey, listen to me, Tad. I'm going to let you live a second life.
Oh,
Right? I'm going to let you go down. I'm going to let you be reincarnated, and you can live a second life. But there's one catch. You can change more than one aspect, but you have to change at least one aspect of your race, gender, or sexuality.
Oh.
What are you coming back as? And why?
When do I die?
What do you mean, when do you die? So imagine you've lived your whole life.
Oh, I've lived my life. I'm 90. So
you've lived your whole life. You've died,
No,
and
I'm
God is gone.
153.
You can go again. We're going to give you a second.
Second go.
Second
In
go.
100 years' time.
Yeah, but you got to change one aspect of your race, gender, or sexuality.
What do I want to be in the year 2153?
I'm liking that you're looking at it from that. No one else had that kind of foresight or analytical mind to think of when this would be happening. So I'm liking this.
Africa's population is going to explode.
1 in 10 babies in the world born in Nigeria.
Yeah, something like that. It's pretty crazy.
It's crazy.
It's unbelievable. It's unsustainable for the amount of infrastructure they have. Unless they build more or get more agriculture, it's going to be a shortage of food.
Okay.
But yeah, Africa's population is exploding.
Right.
Asia, or at least China and Japan, they're starting to go, okay, we've hit the middle income trap now.
Well, in Japan, here's one for you. They sell more adult nappies than baby nappies.
That's fucked.
Yeah.
That's fucked.
Yeah.
That is fucked.
That's wild, isn't it? That's a failed society.
That is, well, they after the bomb, there's only one thing I was gonna. Good Lord. So like, I don't want to be white.
You don't want to be white.
No, because Europe is not gonna be in a great state in 100 years time.
Right.
No. It's gonna be it's gonna be there's gonna be so many old people and so few young people that I don't want to be born having to pay a tax rate of 50% to support pensioners who I'll never meet.
Right.
And that, I don't want that shit. So you want to be somewhere where there's a lot of young people. And
so white is out.
But there's different kinds of white, because like Norwegians.
Well, yeah. So
I'm sorry.
You could be obviously you can choose your nationality too, but the race is white. You like to be a white Norwegian, would you?
Well, it just depends on whether or not they keep their current model going.
Yeah.
Of like, okay, we're this big. We're going to stay this big. We got this big fucking sovereign wealth fund. We've got all this motherfucking oil. Yeah. We're going to use all these hot springs for our electricity and our gas and our heat. We're gonna keep pumping the wind and the solar energy. Let's keep doing it. Let's keep this nice little ethno state. But hey, it works. It works. Cultural unity, it works. Okay, ask the Chinese about that shit.
Yeah.
So it works. No. If they keep it going and they don't allow that, man, I don't want to sound like. I want
to be a white racist Norwegian.
I don't want to be racist. Because listen, do you know why Brighton thinks it's progressive? Because there's fucking 5 gay people there. And so they're like, oh, we love the gays. Have you ever been to Brighton Pride? Imagine Brighton Pride without fucking trains and buses. It'll be 18 people, okay? Like, it's easy to be woke when you don't have to interact with the thing. Jesus Christ. But yeah. I just got that. But white Norwegian ethno state. I think legitimately, I think the best nationality to be might actually be Nigerian if they do it right.
Okay, so but if you're going to Nigeria, right, you're staying within your same race. So then you've got to change your gender, your sexuality.
But here's the thing: the Nigerians are so fucking disgustingly corrupt that I don't think they're gonna stick the landing of the fucking perfect. Nigeria right now is China in 1987. They are ready. They are in a prime position to just let's fucking go.
Right.
Get in the WTC or WTO rather.
Yeah.
And that's just fucking trade. Let's manufacture.
And they got
let's
young
export,
young
and they
people.
Got young working age population. And they have enough wealth to build the factories to exploit that. But it's such a corrupt country inside and out that they're not gonna stick the landing. You know?
Right.
So like I actually don't. That's why like I'm in my head. I'm like, who's even gonna do well for the next 100 years? That's why like I'm struggling with this. So I'll just say I want to be fucking Canadian because they have so much oil.
Right.
They have so much land. Do you know that like 90% of Canada's population is in like 10% of the country? Most of Canada's population is south of fucking Vermont. How fucking crazy is that?
That's crazy. Yeah.
So that most of Canada can be built into. And with global warming, a lot of that ice is going to dry up. Hey.
Do you know what's quite interesting? I asked Willie Hannigan this question.
Yeah.
And he said he wanted to know what you were going to pick. And I said, he probably wants to be you.
He wants to be me?
No, you want to be him, but he is a white Canadian.
Oh my God. That's
unbelievable.
Crazy. Unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
I think Canadian would be the best. And I think I'd want to be a Canadian woman.
Canadian woman.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you,
in 100 years.
What do you think, how do you think your life would be different as a woman compared to being a man?
I think Canada's only going one way in terms of gender equality. I think in 100 years' time, they'll fix the pay gap.
Right.
So that side of it's going to be cool. In 100 years' time, IVF, egg freezing, that's going to not cost that much. It's going to be like fucking Spotify. It's going to be a monthly subscription. You just keep your eggs cool.
Right.
So you don't even have to have a baby young, you know. You can be a busy businesswoman. You can fuck whoever you like. And then, you know, be a mum later, like dads get the option of doing.
Right.
I think there's the amount.
Do you think the life you're painting here? Would you be a lot happier as a white woman?
I think we're pretty neat. I get to walk into rooms with confidence. Oh, I'm sorry, I had no idea. I'm so dumb. Like you can just play that card.
Yeah.
Manipulate men left, right, and center. Oh, do that whole thing. It's fucking great. And that's not me saying women are manipulative bitches. I'm saying men are fucking thick cunts, and you can use that.
Okay.
You can use that the same way that you can use that winning smile as a man to get around sticky situations or play down. Oh,